Good morning and welcome to the breakfast news here on Sabha TV. I'm Tracy Shilji and here are the headlines. Combing operations resume in Nagrota after 7 soldiers are killed in a terror attack. Pakistan continues to indiscriminate fire in Uri sector. Lok Sabha passes Taxation Law's Second Amendment Bill to make changes in the Income Tax Act and Finance Act. Bill moved by Finance Minister Arun Jaitley passed by a voice vote. Black boxes recovered from a charter plane carrying Brazilian football team that crashed into the Colombian jungle. 71 people are killed, 6 passengers survive. And in cricket, India defeat England by 8 wickets in the third test match in Mohali, lead the 5-match series 2-0. Our top focus, Army resumed combing operations around Nagrota this morning, a day after 7 soldiers, including 2 officers, were killed in a huge terror attack at an army base near Jammu in Nagrota yesterday. 3 terrorists were eliminated. In another attack, 3 terrorists were killed while they attempted to infiltrate into India from the international border at Sabha. Pakistan, of course, continued its ceasefire violations on the day of heightened attacks, resorting to unprovoked firing in Baramulla district.
2 separate terror attacks rocked the Jammu region on Tuesday. There were casualties on both sides. In the first, India losing 7 army personnel, including 2 major rank officers, after heavily armed militants in police uniforms stormed an army unit in Nagrota, about 3 kilometers from the corps headquarters on the outskirts of Jammu city. The standoff also included a hostage-like situation in which 12 soldiers, 2 ladies and 2 children were held captive. All were rescued. 3 terrorists were eliminated.
Total of 2 officers and 5 other Jawans, 5 Jawans have been martyred.
The army will probe how the attackers breached the highly fortified base. The Nagrota base is one of 4 command centers in Jammu and Kashmir and home to over 1,000 officers. Army Chief General Dalbir Singh briefed Defence Minister Manohar Parrikar on the Nagrota attack. Prime Minister Narendra Modi was also briefed. In another incident in Sabha district of Jammu, BSF intercepted a group of terrorists, killing 3 as they attempted to cross over the international border from Pakistan into India.
At the first light in the morning, the BSF troops made their move and with precise and stable fire neutralized the 3 militants quickly. In the exchange of fire, 1 constable, Syamlal Ahirwar, sustained a bullet injury in his wrist. Throughout the morning hours, Pakistan kept firing intermittently to provide cover to the militants. In the ensuing events, DIG BSF Jammu Sri B.S. Kasana, Inspector Sarabjit Singh of India Reserve Battalion of Jammu Kashmir Police and Constable Bajwa of BSF sustained injuries.
During this operation, 7 security personnel, including a BSF DIG, were injured. The combing operation that was halted on Tuesday resumed today morning. The security forces suffered serious injuries when an IED blast occurred while the bodies of the slain terrorists were being searched out.
आज सुबह 2 बजे के करीब यहाँ कुछ बंदों को स्पॉट किया गया फेंस के अंदर, लेकिन बीएसएफ के जो एक्स्ट्रा नाकाज लगे हुए थे वो उस गार्डन के अंदर थे. उन्होंने फायर किया हमारी पार्टी के ऊपर, जिनको रिटेलिएट करके न्यूट्रलाइज किया गया. अभी तक 3 मिलिटेंट जो हैं वो मारे गए हैं.
Authorities sounded an alert and stepped up security in and around Katra, the base camp of Mata Vaishno Devi cave shrine. Tuesday's attacks coincided with new Pakistan Army Chief General Qamar Javed Bajwa taking charge. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, political parties have reacted with caution to the terror attack. While they have condemned the attack and expressed condolences over the loss of lives, they also question the government over its Pakistan policy.
Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi condemning the terror attack, saying it will never deter India from the path of peace and progress. The BJP stating the attacks show Pakistan's desperation and frustration.
लेकिन ये पाकिस्तान की डेस्परेशन है, फ्रस्ट्रेशन है और उसी को वो प्रकट कर रहा है, लेकिन वो अपने मंसूबे में कामयाब नहीं होगा. इस प्रकार की ठुक ठुक करते हुए, इस प्रकार के आते हुए वो अपने मकसद में पूरा होगा तो उसकी गलतफहमी है. और भारत इतना कमज़ोर देश नहीं है कि इससे जो वो कमज़ोर होगा उसको समझना चाहिए।
However, the government coming in for criticism for its surgical strikes. Former Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister Omar Abdullah asking the centre to explain its Pakistan policy to the nation, alleging the surgical strikes have not deterred terrorists. Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister Mehbooba Mufti also condemning the terror attacks on security forces, her party tweeting such dastardly attacks will not lower the resolve to fight terrorism. The 7 personnel who lost their lives include Major Gosavi Kunal Manadir from Pandharpur in Maharashtra, Major Akshay Girish Kumar from Koramangala, Bengaluru, Grenadier Raghavendra Singh from Gadi Jitar, Rajasthan, Rifleman Asim Rai from village Ratancha, Pio Khotang from Nepal, Havildar Sukhrat Singh from Gurdaspur in Punjab, and Lance Naik Kadam Sambhaji Yashwant Rao from Maharashtra.
काय बरं वाईट वाटतं पण देशासाठी बलिदान केलं आम्हाला अभिमान तेवढा पहिल्यापासून त्या पोरावर अभिमान होता त्यांनी देशासाठी करतो तो स्वतः या उघड्यात पडलेला आहे आम्ही कधी त्याला म्हणत तुला जसं पाहिजे तसं करू मला माझ्या अपेक्षा होतो पुढे जावं म्हणते
मैं सिर्फ ये चाहूंगा कि भाषण कम और एक्शन ज्यादा हम तो बहुत ज्यादा सुन चुके हैं हमारे रक्षा मंत्री से प्रधानमंत्री से कि क्या सब करेंगे दूसरे देशों के लेकिन जब विक्टिम्स हमारे देश में हो रहे हैं देश तो चाहते हैं कि पहली बात कि हमारे जवानों को जरा सुरक्षित रखिए और दूसरी बात है जवाब देना है तो अब बात से मत दीजिएगा दूसरे मौका से दूसरे तरीके से जवाब दे दीजिएगा.
Amid a sharp escalation in tensions between India and Pakistan, attacks and infiltration attempts by terrorists from across the border have seen a rapid spurt in recent weeks. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
In other news, the Lok Sabha has passed the Taxation Law's Second Amendment Bill 2016, which amends the Income Tax Act. As per the amendment, 85% tax penalty will be levied on people depositing their undisclosed wealth after the 30th of December. The government introduced the bill as a money bill to prevent it from getting blocked in Rajya Sabha.
Amid protests over the demonetization issue, the Lok Sabha on Tuesday passed the Taxation Law's Second Amendment Bill 2016 that amends the Income Tax Act and the Finance Act. The bill moved by Finance Minister Arun Jaitley was passed by voice vote. In his remarks, Jaitley said the government moved the amendments after noticing that many were still trying to convert their black money into white after demonetization. He informed the House that those who disclose black money to banks will have to pay 50% tax, including surcharge and penalty.
इसके पीछे उद्देश्य ये था कि इस देश में जो काला धन है, जो टैक्स इवेजन के लिए जिसका प्रयोग होता है और उसके साथ साथ भ्रष्टाचार में प्रयोग होता है, उस सारे काले धन को इस देश की राजनीति से, इस देश के आर्थिक जीवन से अलग किया जाए.
Opposition parties including the Congress, Trinamool Congress and the BJD opposed the introduction of the bill while demanding a discussion on the bill.
निश्चित रूप से डिस्कशन चलेगा और उसमें ये बिल भी डिस्कस करेंगे क्योंकि इस बिल में भी क्या है वो उसमें आएगा दोनों मिलके करेंगे तो इसीलिए आप अटेंडमेंट मोशन को दीजिए.
Though the bill is under consideration, it is already exposed that what is the purpose of the government. What I would propose to consider that if this bill and this motion or the demonetization issue, if those two can be clubbed together and the discussion can start.
Through the bill, I was going through, it needs some more improvement. And there is, I think the finance minister will agree, that whatever deliberations will be done in this house will always improve the structure of the bill.
RSP leader N.K. Premachandran and Congress's K.C. Venugopal asked if the opposition suggestions for changes were sent to the president.
How can a president can be given within a short span? That means that anticipating the president has been brought here controversially. Anticipating president's assent within a span of 1 hour. Is it possible, Honorable Finance Minister? Is it possible? Well, that means you are bulldozing an important law without any homework.
I would like to know from the Honorable Finance Minister whether the recommendation in writing has been obtained from His Excellency the President of India so that I am getting an opportunity to move my amendments, whether it is withholding, whether it is assented or it is rejected.
The bill was later passed by a voice vote amid the uproar. With Ravindra Singh and Pranav Goswami, Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
While the stalemate between the government and the opposition over demonetization prevailed in Rajya Sabha on Tuesday. The opposition insisted on Prime Minister's presence while the government pressed for immediate discussion. The logjam washed the proceedings of the House for the 9th day in a row.
The impasse over the demonetization is far from over. In the upper house, the opposition on Tuesday tried to mount pressure on the government, accusing it of displaying blatant insensitivity to the miseries of a common man. Various parties slammed the government for allegedly adopting a dictatorial stance.
कुमारी मायावती जी, माननीय सभापति जी, हम ये चाहते हैं कि सरकार की ओर से, क्योंकि जो नोटबंदी पर जो चर्चा हो रही थी वो अभी पूरे जिस चर्चा पर बहस हो रही थी, तो जो चर्चा हो रही थी अभी तक वो पूरी नहीं हुई है। और तो चर्चा शुरू करो, प्रधानमंत्री जी को चर्चा शुरू करो चाहिए।
सर, संपूर्ण सदन चाहता है कि प्रधानमंत्री जी सदन में आए। प्रधानमंत्री जी को हम के अंतर्गत सदन में आमंत्रित कर रहे हैं। I know there is no point in my show.
The government was quick to refute all the claims of the opposition while criticizing it for repeatedly disrupting proceedings of the House.
I tell you, they don't want the truth to come out. They are worried. Their band was a fraud yesterday. There are actors also became a fraud. Actors and band became a fraud. They are divided. They are divided, sir. They are divided.
The chair sought to pacify the protesting members while appealing to members to allow the House to function.
Now, I am requesting the honourable members to go back to your seat, start the discussion. We can have discussion. Finance Minister is already there. It is already said that PM will come and intervene. What more do you want? Actually, you don't want discussion.
The standoff, however, persisted. Amid sharp verbal duels between the BJP and the Congress, Zero Hour and Question Hour were paralysed. The Congress, BSP and TMC members moved to the well protesting against demonetization and demanding Prime Minister's presence. Even the BJP members moved to the aisles and raised slogans against the opposition. Even in the post-lunch session, the protests remained unabated.
What happened?
With no visible signs of a respite, the chair adjourned the House till Wednesday. Kriti Mishra, Rajya Sabha TV.
On Wednesday, 30th December.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has asked BJP MPs and MLAs to submit their bank account statements for the period between the 8th of November and the 31st of December by January 1st, 2017. Modi gave the direction at a BJP parliamentary party meeting following opposition allegations that the BJP tipped off its own leaders ahead of the demonetization announcement on the 8th of November. The Prime Minister also responded to the charge that amendments to the Income Tax Act will help turn black money into white. He said that the amended act will channel the money looted from the poor for their welfare. Meanwhile, the Congress has demanded that BJP reveal details of all banking transactions before the 8th of November, before the move was announced. Dismissing Modi's direction at the BJP parliamentary party meeting as yet another jumla, the Congress called it an attempt to evade questions about the funds deposited in the accounts of the BJP's central and local units and the RSS in the last 1 year.
जो इनकम टैक्स के लिए संशोधन ला रहे हैं वो काला धन को सफेद करने वाले काम नहीं है, लेकिन गरीब से लूटा हुआ जो पैसा है वो गरीब को वापस देने वाला, गरीब कल्याण के लिए खर्च करने वाला एक पहल है।
देश के लोग भारतीय जनता पार्टी से भाजपा की प्रांतीय इकाइयों, राष्ट्रीय इकाइयों और आरएसएस के खातों में पिछले 12 महीने में जमा हुए सैकड़ों और हजारों करोड़ रुपए का हिसाब और पैसे का स्रोत न पूछें।
Defence Minister Manohar Parrikar will begin his 2-day visit to Bangladesh from today. During the visit, Parrikar will call on Bangladeshi top leadership to firm up defence cooperation initiatives ahead of Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's trip to India next month. India and Bangladesh are likely to sign a defence cooperation agreement during Hasina's visit. Parrikar will call on President Abdul Hamid and hold talks with the security advisor to the PM. He will also visit the military academy in Chittagong. Remember, this is the first visit by an Indian defence minister to Bangladesh. Now to Punjab, where the Assistant Superintendent of Police and Head Warden of Nabha Jail were among the 3 arrested on Tuesday for criminal conspiracy in Sunday's jailbreak, in which 6 prisoners escaped. Police have also booked 29 people, including 9 jail officials, in connection with the incident. A joint team of Delhi and Punjab police also questioned Khalistan Liberation Front militant outfit chief Harminder Mintu, who was arrested by the police on Monday, a day after he escaped from Nabha Jail. Police teams are also on the lookout for another escapee, Kashmir Singh, who had accompanied Mintu to Delhi and separated from him at the Kashmiri Gate bus stop. More national news follows after a break. Stay with us.
Gyan Chopper is the ancient version of Indian snakes and ladders. This intriguing game was popular among the old, the young, and the rulers as well. The chopper has its origin in the Jain philosophy. It tells the story of virtue, symbolized by the ladders, rewarded, while the vices shown by the snakes are punished. Each square, in turn, also narrates some message of wisdom.
Welcome back. Let's get you some more national news updates. And a 9-member Lok Sabha panel probing the parliament video made by Bhagwant Mann on Tuesday found the Aam Aadmi Party MP guilty in the case. The committee will submit its report to the Lok Sabha Speaker today. However, members of the parliamentary panel on Tuesday failed to adopt a draft report following differences over quantum of punishment, with some opposing any punitive action as he had not been attending House on the orders of the Speaker. The committee, headed by BJP's Kirit Somaiya, met on Tuesday to finalize a draft report after Mann tendered an unconditional apology and withdrew his remarks that Prime Minister Modi too should be summoned for inviting ISI officials to Pathankot Air Base after a terror attack there. While there has been a unanimity on security aspects recommended by the panel, there were differences on the punishment to be handed out to him. Though he has been found guilty, some suggested that he should be suspended for a day, while others said that he has not been attending House on the directions of the Speaker for a long time and hence should not be punished.
कमेटी ने मैंने बुलाया सी तो मैं अपना पक्ष पहले ही पेश कर चुके हैं ऑलरेडी उसे दिन स्पीकर मैडम तो अनकंडीशनल अपॉलोजी में मंग ली सी पर उन्होंने बाद कमेटी बनाई जिहदी बहुत सारी लंबी मीटिंगां होईयां तो मैं अपने वालों अपना पक्ष पेश करता उस तो बाद हुण देखते हैं कि मैडम स्पीकर अनाउंस करने.
Capital Delhi witnessed the first fog of the season today as a dense layer of fog engulfed the capital early this morning, reducing visibility across the city. Palam area around the airport reported thick fog with visibility dropping to 400 meters between 6 a.m. to 7 a.m., affecting flight operations. At least 40 trains coming to Delhi have been delayed. Foggy conditions also being reported from Punjab, Haryana, Chandigarh, Delhi and western Uttar Pradesh. Earlier on Tuesday, 5 people, including 2 children, were killed in road accidents in Uttar Pradesh due to poor visibility since Monday night. On to other news in general. Qamar Javed Bajwa, considered an expert in India-Pakistan border affairs, took over as Pakistan's new army chief on Tuesday. Outgoing Army Chief General Rahil Sharif handed over the command of the army to General Bajwa at a ceremony held in Rawalpindi. Bajwa was appointed as the army chief on Saturday by Pakistani Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif. He has earlier commanded the 10 Corps responsible for the area along the line of control. Newly appointed Pakistan Chief of Army has promised to work on improving tension along the LOC. Now, in a surprise announcement on Tuesday, Afghan Taliban has pledged to protect key infrastructure projects in the war-torn nation, including the $10 billion Turkmenistan, Afghanistan, Pakistan, India gas pipeline. The Taliban, which is blamed for targeting aid workers and damaging millions of dollars worth infrastructure in the country, said that they will protect all national projects which are in the interest of the people and result in the development and prosperity of the nation, but are also committed to safeguarding them. It also directs all its Mujahideen fighters to help in the security of all national projects that are in the higher interest of Islam and the country. The ambitious Tapi pipeline project, launched last December, will have a capacity to carry 90 million standard cubic meters a day of gas for a 30-year period. India and Pakistan would get 38 each, while the remaining 14 will be supplied to Pakistan. Now, seeking to end the year-long political crisis over the new statute, Nepal government on Tuesday tabled the Constitution Amendment Bill in Parliament to address the grievances of the agitating Madhesi parties and other ethnic groups. The bill tabled proposes to amend the provisions related to redrawing provincial boundaries, recognition of various languages, citizenship and representation in the National Assembly. The bill, brought as per Article 296 of Nepal's constitution, would mature after 5 days of registration. Redemarcation of the provincial boundary and citizenship issue are the two major demands put forth by the agitating Madhesi parties. They are the minorities in Nepal and have led months-long protests seeking better representation in Parliament. In more international news, black boxes from the crashed Colombian plane carrying 77 people, including a Brazilian football team, have been found. 71 people died in the crash, while the other 6 have survived. Authorities are investigating the cause of the crash, but have said that an electrical fault could have led to the disaster. Brazilian President Michel Temer has announced a 3-day mourning period for the victims.
Black boxes have been recovered from the charter plane that crashed into the Colombian jungle outside the city of Medellin on Tuesday. 71 people, including a Brazilian football team, were killed in the crash. Only 6 of the 77 people on board survived, 3 of which are footballers. Authorities have completed the search and rescue operation and the injured are being treated.
Con éxito, porque se cumplió con el cometido de encontrar a cada una de las personas que venían en esta aeronave. Hoy pudimos concretar que fueron 6 personas heridas.
Authorities are investigating all the recorded data, but the search flight data from civil aviation showed the plane circling the Rio Negro airport near Medellin before disappearing off the radar. It is still not clear what caused the crash, but the authorities say technical failure had occurred. The pilot had reported an electrical fault just before the crash.
En el documento final que tanto Bolivia como nosotros manejamos, se habla de una total falla eléctrica en el último momento. A ustedes muchísimas gracias.
The football world has rallied around the Brazilian club, which lost most of its players in the crash. The football team, Chapecoense, was heading for the biggest game in their history, the final of the Copa Sudamericana, before the tragedy struck. Their opponents have offered to concede the game to ensure Chapecoense are declared the champions. Brazilian President Michel Temer called the incident extremely sad and declared 3 days of national mourning.
A única coisa que podíamos fazer, lamentavelmente, além de orar por aqueles que partiram, era tomar providências do governo federal a fim de dar apoio às famílias, especialmente, que sim lutaram.
O mundo confiando em Deus, que as coisas vão acontecer tudo certo para nós e que a nossa Chapecoense vai ter que continuar. É difícil, eu chego até... Cara, é muito difícil falar, não tenho nem mais opinião, dizer o que eu posso falar.
Vigils were held across Brazil for the victims. Brazilian First Division football teams have offered to lend players to Chapecoense free of charge and asked the league to protect the club from relegation for the next 3 years. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
All right, let's head on to some sports news now. And in cricket, India defeated England by 8 wickets in the third test match at Mohali on Tuesday, taking a 2-0 lead in the 5-match series. Resuming their second innings at an overnight score of 78 for 4, the visitors were all out for 236 runs. Joe Root and Hasib Hamid played a defiant innings, but it was not enough. Root struck 78, while Hasib remained not out on 59. R. Ashwin claimed 3 more wickets. Mohammad Shami, Ravindra Jadeja and Jayant Yadav took 2 wickets each. The hosts then surpassed the victory target of 103 runs by making 104 for 2 in 20.2 overs. Parthiv Patel scored an unbeaten 67.
And that as a captain is very pleasing when, especially a game like this where you lose the toss and you get the opposition out for 280 on a flat wicket. Really gives you confidence as a bowling unit that you are on top and you are dictating terms.
There was no magic balls being bowled, really. Probably Johnny was probably the only one. Was a very good piece of bowling. A couple of balls before skidded on, passes outside the other one turned. But apart from that, there wasn't a huge amount of. Wasn't the pitch misbehaving. It was good, accurate bowling as you expect from India in these conditions. But it wasn't unplayable, and we didn't score enough runs.
Saina Nehwal will lead India's charge in the Macau Open badminton tournament, which begins today. The London Olympics bronze medalist is the lone Indian woman shuttler in the tournament and will begin her campaign against Hana Ramadini of Indonesia. In the men's sections, Hong Kong Open finalists Sameer Verma, Kidambi Srikanth and Parupalli Kashyap will be in action. Earlier, Rio Olympics silver medalist PV Sindhu, who is also a three-time winner at the tournament, pulled out to prepare for the next month's Dubai Super Series finals. And here's a look at some more action from the world of sports in SportsBeat. India defeated arch-rivals Pakistan by 5 wickets in the Women's Asia Cup T20 tournament in Bangkok on Tuesday. Indian team restricted Pakistan to 97 for 7 in 20 overs before overcoming the modest target with 4 balls to spare. India topped the table now with 6 points, with 3 wins in as many games, followed by Pakistan and Sri Lanka. The Indian men's hockey team will face Australia today in the second match of the 2-game series. In the first game on Tuesday, young striker Afan Yusuf scored a brace to guide Indian men's hockey team to a 3-2 win over world champions Australia. Drag flicker VR Raghunath netted the winner for India in the 44th minute. Russian heptathlete Tatyana Chernova was stripped of her 2011 world title for a doping violation by the Court of Arbitration for Sport. CAS also banned Chernova for 3 years and 8 months from February 5th this year, saying that her biological passport showed evidence of blood doping. 2 other Russian athletes were also sanctioned by the CAS following an analysis of their biological passports. That's all we have for you on the Breakfast News. Thanks so much for joining us.